Hi, I'm Liz Morris. I'm here with Bill LuMaye, and we're so excited for our special guest today. It's Mr. Dorma Holt. He lives in Burlington, North Carolina. He's a 99-year-old World War II veteran. He was drafted in 1944. He served in the Battle of the Bulge. He also liberated a concentration camp. After he came home, he lived a whole second life. He has a beautiful family. He was a businessman and entrepreneur. And I'm really excited to be speaking with him today, Bill.
2 years of his life, he was at the Battle of the Bulge and the concentration. I mean, that's a lifetime for some people. And he's part of that greatest generation. So he had 78 years after that, where he had a full life, and a wife and a family. And to get a perspective from a guy like this, who's 99 years old, where he was on a farm and he was making his own food, it's the only way they ate, to where we are today, it was really fascinating to pick his brain and his wisdom. And that's what you get when you're 100 years old. Almost. I don't want to put him at 100 yet, but the wisdom that you gain over a lifetime. So I can't wait to get into it. He's in Burlington.
Yeah. He was in the retail industry for 99 years. I think growing up, his parents had a small store. So he's been in the retail industry and, took a break to be a part of the Army and came back and kind of jumped right back into it. I mean, it's just amazing the resilience that and the kind of full life that he's lived.
And I think it's something we can all take away. I think sometimes we live our life and we forget, when I mentioned the greatest generation, they had the Depression, World War II, completely different lifestyle than we have today. So what I took away from it is that, first of all, he's very knowledgeable. He's very active. I hope I'm even close to being that at 99 years of age. But to sit down and go, oh my goodness, I hadn't thought about it. And when you get into what was most important to him after 99 years, I think people will be fascinated by it. I really do. Should we play it for him?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to watch this? I do.
Yes, absolutely. But coming up after the interview, we have a very special segment where we're going to highlight one of our customers.
Awesome. Can we watch now? Let's watch.
Welcome to Freedom and Glory, Tales of American Spirit, where we share inspiring stories of resilience, courage, and hope. Join us as we celebrate the people and moments that define our nation's values and remind us that even the smallest actions can spark lasting change. And here's your hosts, Liz Morris and Bill LuMaye.
Why don't you start by tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Mr. Holt?
I was raised on a little farm down in Alamance County. Mother and father and one sister. We didn't have any money, didn't have any indoor plumbing, water. We had a well that we drew water out for all our use and all of our animals. We raised animals. Had milk cows and goats and sheep, few pigs and so forth. But we were just self-sufficient. And of course we canned stuff to eat, so raised wheat and corn. So we basically just raised ourselves, no money, practically nothing. So that was the upbringing that I had. Went to Sylvan School and graduated 11th grade at that time. As such, after graduation, needed a job, so I went to work in the hosiery mill, ordered socks and make dyes. But anyway, then I was drafted. Well, I was sent a notice of being drafted first, and they sent us for physical examination. Of course, I was A1. So I stood by the mailbox and waited for draft notice. And I got it and left Graham, went to Fort Bragg, and that's where I had basic training. And after shooting the guns and the rifles and machine guns and Bangalore torpedoes and all that stuff, they offered me a chance to go to a special school and about 12 other guys. So we thought this was great on. We got together and they said, what are we going to be doing? You're going to be experts in explosives, dynamite, TNT, booby traps, tank mines, and so forth. So that's what we did. And we blew up South Georgia, I think. So we shipped out to New York, got on the Aquitania, from New York to Glasgow, Scotland, across the English Channel. I didn't get there. I was young enough. I didn't get in the early part of the war. So I didn't join the outfit until they were into France already. And we joined the outfit there, went through up to close to the Belgian border, across to the Belgian border. And instead of being assigned to the infantry, they assigned 5 of us to a amphibious truck company, a duck outfit. So we were one of the first ones across the Rhine River into Germany proper.
Mr. Holt, what was your role on the duck?
They had, in the duck company, they had machine guns on about every 4th duck. And I was a machine gunner on the duck with diving Pennsylvania. But after about 2 weeks, one of the guys got killed driving the duck, and they gave me his duck. So I had my own duck after that time. And then we proceeded down through Germany. About half the people tried to shoot you. The other half glad the war was over, and we're glad to see you. And we proceeded all the way down through Germany, down into the Alp Mountains, across the Danube River, and we got up in the Alp Mountains with the snow with these ducks on little old winding roads. One who hadn't got killed. But anyway, down into Austria, we liberated a concentration camp named 1,000. They had duck. They were trying to climb all over the duck, trying to hug us, and we were having to fight them off because they had lice all over them and just pure, just almost dead. And many of them were dead. So after we liberated that, then when the war ended pretty soon, I think April 1945, so we moved back into Germany and cleaned up our ducks and so forth. And then we drove back into central France.
You were also in the Battle of the Bulge, which is an incredibly historic battle. Can you take us through, what you experienced and saw?
Yeah. Well, that was this crossing the Rhine River was the end of the Battle of the Bulge. I was not in the main part of the battle, but it was still going on up there. And that was part of the Battle of the Bulge, was getting across the river and get away. And, we got shot at, and I got hit with, hit by strafed by airplanes. My duck was hit, but I was not hit. And, of course, they were doing everything they could to keep us out of Germany proper. But we crossed the river anyway. And
You were a young man at this time, and I mean, this is a life experience most people don't get to go through. What was that like for you? I mean, what were you thinking?
Well, let's put it this way. I was not real smart, but I had never been anywhere much. Didn't have any training, didn't have any people to assist me or to teach me or train me to go to school. Didn't have money enough to go to college or anything like that. So I was a very naive young man. And, of course, fighting was new to me. It kept us so busy, we really didn't have time to think about a whole lot.
I'm sorry. When you got out of the service, you were in for 2 years. Am I right about that? Just 2 years? I mean, you go from a war and a concentration camp to back to normal living. I mean, how do you do that?
It takes a long time. We got on this ship in Marseille, France, set out in the middle of the Mediterranean. It was named General Omar Bundy. It sailed out by the Rock of Gibraltar, down across the South Atlantic to Panama, through the canal, down across the equator. By the way, you're a pollywog before you cross the equator. After you cross the equator, you're a shellback. And they had a ceremony that they went through, which was pretty rough. And then we went to New Guinea, and from there to Manila in the Philippines. That trip was 15,000 miles, 47 days on that ship, with 1 day off in Panama. But while we were in the Philippines, we started training for the invasion of Japan, which was be a direct frontal assault on Tokyo and Yokohama. And this little ducks would only go 7 miles an hour. So to get off in Tokyo Bay in another thing with a little boat going 7 miles an hour, that's not a real sitting duck. But anyway, they dropped the bomb and we were tickled to death. But to get back to your question, after we unloaded ships there for a while, the docks were still in pretty good shape in Japan, and the boats were able to unload. But the trade queue turned in our ducks for trucks and so forth. But it was hard to adjust.
Every flag tells a story, and every patriot makes a difference. When you subscribe to Carrot Top's newsletter, you'll find updates and inspiration to help you honor your values and inspire others. Take the next step. Sign up today at carrot-top.com.
Mr. Holt, it sounds like, you were, after 2 years, you were, for lack of a better term, you were a real, veteran in your unit. How do you think you had changed as a person? How had, being in the war, how did it impact you?
Well, it makes you study people more. When I meet people, I try to think about, can I get any knowledge from them? What can I learn from them? And so forth. And also being in the businesses, I think working with people has changed me, brought me back more than so forth. One time I went to the doctor and I was having problems with nightmares. And he said, well, I'll just schedule you with another doctor and let him talk to you a little bit. I said, I'm not going. He said, what do you mean? I said, you don't know how people react when they hear somebody that's shell-shocked or going to a psychiatrist. I said, people back off. They don't want to associate with you, and they won't give you a job and so forth. I said, I'll tough it out myself. I'm not going to any psychiatrist. So I did when I had flashbacks for a period of time. And even to this day, once in a while.
Yeah. The perception was incredibly different, back then, going to a therapist or a psychiatrist versus today.
That's right. Now, the general public, everybody accepted you, tried to do everything they could to help you. This was during World War II. And people were at a religious high. They would do anything they could for a veteran. And it was just amazing. So it was not just the soldiers that were the greatest generation. It was the people in the country. because they were all behind this effort. It was an effort to save the world, and they knew it, and everybody pitched in and did everything that they possibly could.
Well, Mr. Holt, can I ask you? That was 78 years ago. Boy, what you been doing for 78 years?
I came home and bought a tractor and tried to farm a little bit. And we didn't have enough land to do any good, so that didn't go anywhere. So I bought a broom factory. I manufactured and sold brooms for a while. And that was not a sweeping success. The people that got in the war earlier than I did were home and married and so forth. And here I came home single. And the other people had grown up, and I didn't have anybody to associate with, didn't have any friends, couldn't go to school, didn't have any money. So I was just trying to look for a job. So I looked around and went to work for Sears Roebuck. And told the guy there, if I ever made as much as $5,000 a year, that's just all I wanted to do. So I went to work for Sears. And I worked for Sears for 31 years.
Mr. Holt, tell us about how you and Mary Ellen met.
Well, as I say, I was like a fish out of water. Didn't have any friends or anything. Didn't know how to meet people. But anyway, a boy that was younger than I was had a date with his girlfriend. Wanted to know if I wanted to go along. Said maybe his girlfriend knew somebody. I said, well, fine. So I went along with him, and she went, and a friend of hers and brought her out to the car, and we rode around a little bit, and she seemed to like me, and I seemed to like her. And never seen her before or anything. So I asked her if I could come back again, and so we dated for a while, and after about a year, we got married. Then, after I retired, let's see, what else did I do? Oh, well, I went to school. I decided if I was ever going to get anywhere, I went to school before I retired. That's back when I got the job with Sears. Went to Elon College and took extension courses from Sears and from University of South Carolina.
From where you started as a young man to where we are today, are you amazed by the changes, or how do you feel about today's generation? It's the greatest generation.
I am. I'm amazed. There's been more change in my lifetime than ever in the old history put together, I'm sure. And to me, I think the field of communication is probably the greatest change that I've seen. Not just to me, but to everybody. Because we had newspapers and a little bit of radio. We didn't have radio until about 1940. We bought one, a battery job. But the only advertising people did then was newspaper and radio until TV came out. And TV outstripped everything. It took over everybody's thoughts. And today, I think TV has, it's helped people like me that didn't see anything and never been anywhere. There's lots of people today that have seen the world through television, that are never able to go there and see it, and the cultures and so forth. But at the same time, television has ruined a lot of things. Nobody communicates anymore. They talk with their thumbs, and that's it. So I'm not sure how good it is.
Obviously, as you get older, you gain wisdom. And what would you say has been the most important thing you've learned?
Well, just people. I don't know how to put it in words hardly, but associating with people, and that's part of communication. I learned to be tolerant, and although I've done all the talking this morning, we try to learn to be tolerant of other people and let them do some talking.
What values and principles have kind of guided you throughout your life?
I was raised to go to church, and seeing what I did in World War II, I don't see how anybody could not believe in a God, seeing the things of nature and the people and so forth. So I've always believed in religion as such. And unfortunately, I think our country has lost a lot of its moral values since World War II. But to answer your question about what's affected me, I think I've learned to deal with people, and being in the various jobs that I've had, I think it's helped me try to have a good outlook and enjoy life what we can, enjoy other people. Yes.
Well, it's not every day that we get to talk to someone with your kind of life experience, and I just want to say, personally, I don't have my grandparents around anymore, and it's just been so amazing to talk to you, Mr. Holt. We really, really appreciate you coming on the show, and it's been awesome to talk to you. Thank you so much. It's a real privilege.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Come to see me anytime. Bring somebody with you, and we'll talk.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Very good. That's awesome. That's an amazing guy, Liz. I mean, what was your takeaway on this?
I mean, it's just incredible hearing about, I don't think I've ever talked to someone who was 99 years old before. And just hearing about all the changes that he's seen in his lifetime, it's wild. It
is. And when you really think about it, he started off by telling us his life when he was a young kid. He was on the farm. If he wanted to eat, he had to go kill the chicken, right? And now look where he is today. Think of all the wonderful things he has seen in his life. When we asked him about one of the most important changes he felt, and it was communication, right?
Yeah, just the evolution of how TV changed, how, communication, and how the advancement of technology is just incredible. And I think, he pointed out that no one has kind of seen that length of or advancement of change in their lifetime.
From a young man going into the Army, traveling the world on a ship, to sitting at home and talking to us doing an interview over the internet. I mean, that was just crazy. He was a very wise, genuine, and he also valued people. It seemed like that was very important to him, that he became more tolerable, and people meant a lot to him. And so I think we could all learn a lot from him. Amazing guy.
Absolutely.
Amazing guy. Let's do a special segment where we highlight one of Carrot Top's customers.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to take a second to talk about Alamance County Veteran Services, and they've actually been a customer of Carrot Top since 1998. And we work with Tammy Crawford over there, and we reached out to her. We wanted to do a veterans event, and she connected us with Mr. Holt. And it was amazing. We brought a team from the office out to his house, and we were able to do some yard work with him. We cleaned his gutters. We painted front and back porches. It was just incredible for everyone to meet him in person and to, hear some of his stories.
These organizations are awesome for veterans, regardless if you're from the greatest generation or you're brand new to it. In fact, Alamance County's Veteran Services offers a lot of services like filing for disability and pension. That's tough to do, the paperwork for a lot of veterans that are there for that, and handling the medical bills, which a lot of our veterans today are struggling with, and exploring education opportunities and home loans and all kinds of things. I mean, it's nice that we value veterans, and it's awesome that we have something like Tammy Crawford and organizations like that are willing to step up and make a difference. And it's very easy to get a hold of them. Now, all you got to do is call them, and the telephone number is 336-570-6763. Or you can go to their website, and that is alamance-nc.com/veterans/.
And in addition to the services that you just mentioned, Bill, they also put on community events. And their next event is coming up in March, and it is a breakfast, a Vietnam veterans breakfast.
Oh, nice.
And that is a great way to meet local veterans, to hear about their experiences, to honor those who served.
All right, Liz. One down, another one to go. What's coming up next time?
Yeah, so next episode, we're really excited to talk with Shawn Roser-Warren. And Shawn is a huge advocate for veterans. And she and her husband, Marine Corps veteran Kit Warren, worked on several community projects. They put together street banners for their hometown heroes. So banners highlighting veterans that have served in their community. And after Kit's passing, Shawn has started her own nonprofit and continues positively impacting their community in DeRuyter, New York. So we're really excited to connect with Shawn next episode.
I can't wait. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Freedom and Glory, Tales of American Spirit. We hope today's story inspired you to take action, embrace challenges, and pursue your dreams. To explore our collection of American-made flags and products that celebrate resilience and craftsmanship, visit us at carrot-top.com. That's carrot-top.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with others who appreciate stories of determination and hope. Until next time, stay resilient and keep your flag flying high.